Let's talk about the feeling of your own legs betraying you. That moment you have to push off your knees just to stand up from a chair, or the hesitation you feel at the bottom of a staircase that once seemed so small. Many of us are told this is just getting older. I'm here to tell you, it's often a sign of a specific nutritional crisis. These are often signs that your body's foundational structure is weakening, and today, we will count down the 3 essential vitamins that your muscles and nerves are crying out for. And I will save the number 1 vitamin on this list, a master switch for your muscles, for last. Hello, I'm Dr. James Whitmore. At 72, I understand this topic not just as a doctor, but personally. And the science is clear, as stated in medical journals like Current Opinion in Clinical Nutrition and Metabolic Care. Specific vitamin deficiencies are directly linked to age-related muscle loss, or sarcopenia. Before we begin our countdown, I'd like to ask for your help with something. Which of these do you find more challenging? Standing up from a chair or climbing stairs? Please comment one word below. By the end of this video, you will have a clear, practical plan to help your legs feel stronger and more reliable. If that is a promise you would like to see kept, please take a moment to subscribe to Generations of Health. Now, let's start by understanding what's truly happening inside your body. So why do our legs often feel like the first thing to go? The answer lies in a silent collapse happening on 2 fronts. The first culprit is a condition called sarcopenia. It's a medical term for the natural, age-related loss of muscle mass. After age 60, we can lose a significant percentage of our muscle mass each year if we do nothing. It happens so gradually, you don't notice it day to day, until one day you struggle to lift a bag of groceries. The second culprit is a decline in nerve function. Think of your nerves as the electrical wiring that connects your brain to your leg muscles. Over time, the insulation on this wiring can wear thin. The signals from your brain telling your legs to move become slower, weaker, and less precise. This is what leads to that feeling of unsteadiness or a loss of balance. But here is the good news. We can fight back against both of these problems by providing our body with the right raw materials. Let's begin our countdown with vitamin number 3, a nutrient I call the traffic director for your body's frame. Number 3, the traffic director for your frame. We often hear about calcium and vitamin D for our bones, but there is a third overlooked vitamin that is arguably just as important for creating a strong foundation for your muscles. I'm talking about vitamin K2. So, what does it do? Vitamin K2 acts like a traffic director for calcium in your body. As confirmed by numerous studies reviewed in journals like Osteoporosis International, vitamin D helps you absorb calcium, but it's vitamin K2 that tells that calcium where to go. It directs it to your bones and teeth, where you need it, and away from your arteries and soft tissues, where it can cause dangerous calcification. I had a patient, a wonderful 78-year-old woman named Dorothy from San Diego. She was taking both calcium and vitamin D, but was still concerned about her bone health. We added a high-quality K2 supplement to her regimen. At her next checkup, her bone density scan showed a remarkable stabilization. She felt more secure, knowing the supplements she was taking were now working in harmony. For us, this is crucial. Strong bones provide the essential framework that your leg muscles need to anchor to. Without a strong frame, even strong muscles can't function properly. How can you get more K2? The best food sources are fermented foods like natto, a Japanese dish, as well as certain hard cheeses and organ meats like liver. Because these aren't common in many Western diets, a high-quality supplement containing the MK7 form of K2 is often a wise choice. So, K2 builds the strong road for your muscles. But what about the highway itself, the nerves that carry the commands from your brain to your legs? Our next vitamin is the key to protecting that vital communication line. Let's move on to number 2. Number 2, the nerve insulator. Have you ever felt that frustrating pins and needles sensation in your feet, or a sense of unsteadiness even when you're standing still? That's not just a circulation issue, it's often a sign that your nervous system is calling for help. The vitamin it needs is vitamin B12. Vitamin B12 is essential for maintaining the health of the myelin sheath. Think of this as the protective insulation around an electrical wire. Without enough B12, this insulation can become thin and frayed, causing the nerve signals from your brain to your legs to slow down or get scrambled. This is what leads to feelings of weakness, numbness, and poor balance. I had a patient, Robert, a 75-year-old who loved to work in his garden, but had started to feel very unsteady on his feet. He was afraid of falling. We discovered his B12 levels were very low, a common issue as our ability to absorb it from food declines with age. After just a few months of proper supplementation, he came back to my office and proudly told me he was able to carry his bags of soil across the yard without holding on to anything. This shows that stronger legs aren't just about muscle. They're about confident, precise communication between your brain and your feet. Restoring B12 helps clear up that communication line. The best food sources are animal products like meat, fish, and eggs. For many seniors, a sublingual, under-the-tongue, supplement of the methylcobalamin form is often the most effective way to ensure absorption. So we've supported the bones with K2 and the nerves with B12. But now, we need to turn on the power to the muscles themselves. It's time for our number one vitamin, the true master switch for your leg strength. Number 1, the power switch for your muscles. And here we are, at the number 1 most critical vitamin for fighting leg weakness. If you feel like the power in your legs has been turned down, this is likely the switch that needs to be flipped back on. I'm talking about vitamin D3. We often think of vitamin D for bones, but its role in muscle is just as critical. A major review from the Journal of the American Geriatric Society has definitively shown that vitamin D deficiency is a primary cause of muscle weakness and significantly increases the risk of falls in seniors. Your muscle cells have specific receptors for vitamin D. When they are activated, it signals the muscles to contract strongly and efficiently. I can tell you this from my own life. A few years ago, I started to notice that getting up from my favorite armchair was taking more effort. A blood test revealed my vitamin D levels were surprisingly low, despite my daily walks. After 6 weeks of proper doctor-supervised supplementation, that feeling of effort was gone. The strength was still there. It just needed to be switched on. This is about more than just strength. It's about independence. It's the ability to get out of a chair with ease, to walk with confidence, and to know that your body can support you. Sunlight is the best source, but it's not always enough as we age. Fatty fish and fortified milk are good dietary sources. However, for most seniors, a high-quality D3 supplement is the most reliable way to maintain optimal levels. So now you know the leg strength trio, K2, B12, and D3. But simply taking them isn't enough. How they work together is the real secret to success. Think of these 3 vitamins not as individual players, but as a championship team working together to keep you mobile. Here's how they do it. Vitamin K2 builds the strong bone framework, or the road. Vitamin B12 protects the nerve highway that runs along that road, carrying the brain's commands. And vitamin D3 acts as the power that allows the cars, your muscles, to drive strongly and confidently on that highway. When this team works in harmony, the results are powerful. This idea of nutrients working as a team is so important. Have you ever noticed a combination of foods or supplements that worked wonders for you? I'd love for you to share your synergy secrets in the comments. But even the best team can fail if you make one very common mistake that can break this team apart. Let's cover that next. So we have supported the bones with K2 and the nerves with B12, and we've talked about turning on the power to the muscles with vitamin D. But this brings us to the single most common and most critical mistake I see my patients make. So many of them tell me, "Doc, I'm already taking vitamin D, but I still feel weak." And my first question is always the same. Are you taking it alone? And that is the mistake. Taking vitamin D in isolation, thinking it's a magic bullet. As we've discussed, vitamin D is the power switch for your muscles, and it's essential for absorbing calcium. But it does not work in a vacuum. Without enough vitamin K2, the traffic director, the extra calcium you absorb from vitamin D might end up in your arteries instead of your bones, doing more harm than good. And without enough vitamin B12, the nerve signals telling your newly powered muscles what to do are still weak and slow. Taking vitamin D alone is like upgrading the engine of your car, but forgetting to fix the steering and the roads. You have power, but no control or direction. The key is not just to supplement, but to supplement intelligently. This is about creating a complete system. So, let's build your practical action plan right now. All right, let's turn this knowledge into action. I always advise a food-first approach. Your body loves getting nutrients from whole foods. For vitamin D3, focus on fatty fish like salmon and mackerel 2 to 3 times a week. Egg yolks and fortified milk are also good sources. For vitamin B12, prioritize high-quality animal products: beef, chicken, fish, and eggs. And for vitamin K2, this one is trickier in the Western diet. It's found in high amounts in fermented foods like natto, a Japanese dish, as well as certain aged cheeses and organ meats like liver. Now, I am a realist. It can be difficult to get all of these from diet alone, especially as our absorption declines with age. This is where smart supplementation comes in as a simple, effective solution. My advice is to look for a high-quality supplement that combines vitamin D3 with K2 in the same pill. This ensures the power switch and the traffic director are always working together. For B12, as we discussed, a sublingual, under-the-tongue, methylcobalamin form is often best for seniors to ensure absorption. But remember, and this is very important, this is educational information, not medical advice for you as an individual. It's essential to talk to your own doctor to get your levels tested and find the right dosage for your specific needs. Following this plan can make a world of difference. But to ensure you do it safely, there are a few final critical warnings we must cover. Now, before you start any new supplement regimen, it is my duty as a physician to share these important warnings. This is about being smart and safe. First, and this is non-negotiable, if you are taking any blood-thinning medication like warfarin, you must speak with your doctor before supplementing with vitamin K2. K2 can interfere with how these medications work, and your dosage may need to be adjusted. Second, more is not always better, especially with vitamin D. Taking very high doses for a long time without medical supervision can lead to an excess of calcium in your blood. This is why it's so important to get your levels tested and follow your doctor's advice on dosage. And finally, the most important rule of all, listen to your body. It is your best and wisest teacher. What works for one person may need to be adjusted for another. The goal is to feel better, not to follow a rigid script. So today, we have learned about the leg strength trio: vitamin D3 to power the muscles, B12 to protect the nerves, and K2 to support the foundational bone structure. We've seen that feeling weaker isn't just something you have to accept. Now for our Ask the Doc segment. A common question is, Dr. James, can I take all 3 of these at the same time? That's a great question. Yes, you can. They don't negatively interact with each other. In fact, taking D3 and K2 together is often recommended for their synergistic effect. We've covered vitamins for leg strength today. What other health topic are you most curious about for our next video? Please let me know in the comments below. Your suggestions help shape this channel. If you have been feeling unsteady on your feet or frustrated by a body that no longer feels like your own, I want you to know that there is hope. You have the power to provide your body with the tools it needs to rebuild. So my challenge for you this week is simple. Choose just one of the vitamins we discussed. Either add a food rich in it to your diet or talk to your doctor about it. Just take that one small first step. Which one will it be? If this video has given you a clear path forward, please let me know by typing strong in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe to Generations of Health so we can continue this journey together. Remember, your legs have carried you through a lifetime of memories. It's time to give them the nourishment they deserve to carry you confidently into the future. Be well.